affordability has become the buzzword of the economy. But listen, you've been watching this show for a long time. For years, I've been talking about affordability, especially when it comes to housing. And for a while, it was a lack of supply, right? That was the blame for the problem. But as we can see here, supply has bounced back pretty strongly. Of course, one of the other reasons supply is stacking up the way it is. We're now starting to see a record number of buyers or would-be buyers get, I would call it pre-buyer's remorse, right? So this kind of thing is happening. In addition to that, the thing we talk about all the time, sky-high mortgages compared to recent years, right? You get some old folks out there, and remember when they paying 20%. Of course, you add that to the issue of housing being so expensive. My grandfather bought a house. My mom and dad bought a house at 30 grand. My grandfather bought one at 3,000. Why do I have to spend 110,000, right? The annual income has absolutely skyrocketed, and it is a sore spot, a real sore spot for younger millennials and Gen Z. Now, earlier this year, Scott Besson talked about this. He said President Trump was considering declaring a national housing emergency. He wanted to address the soaring prices and the shrinking supply. And therein lies the rub. Again, I'll talk about the boomers, right? The boomers who own all the houses and the boomers even on the Federal Reserve, they think that declining house prices are bad. And so just to quote Stan Laurel, here's another fine mess. I want to bring in now two of my favorite housing market experts. Joining me now, Dallas-Fort Worth housing and macroeconomics analyst Amy Nixon, along with Haringa CEO and founder Melody Wright. Ladies, thank you both. I've been wanting to do a special on this for about a month. Haven't got it cleared yet, so we're going to do a long segment on it. And I want to examine the current conundrum. One report states that first-time home buyers are now 40 years old, first time, and that median is 60 years old. Now, some quibble with the data, but younger folks now, are really suffering because, they can't get in the housing market. But I want to ask you about this, just what happened here. Let me just start with you, Melody, on the notion that just younger people can't buy houses right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, this market has become about speculation, Charles, and no longer really home ownership for Joe and Jane. And so as that occurred, they got completely priced out. And as we know as well, the boomers own most of the homes, and they're not doing distressed selling right now. There's not really an impetus to get those homes to the market. So it's happening slower than I think that people would want it to happen.
So the question, though, is does it qualify as a national economic emergency? Again, considering, Amy, the delayed household formation delays a whole lot of things that have been important parts of the economic food chain.
Absolutely, it's an emergency, Charles, because we've already seen in New York that this is now a major political issue. And if we do not start finding ways to reallocate the wealth voluntarily,